Mage Transformers 96 here with another review, this time of the Arkham City Deluxe Titan Joker. So here you go. So yeah, so this figure is kind of interesting for me because before I collected Arkham stuff, I saw this at a toy show, saw a picture of it, and just thought, it looks so disgusting, who would buy that? And then I got really into collecting Arkham, and I could not wait for this figure, so I'm very happy to get it. So anyway, here's this box. It's the same deluxe kind of packaging that we saw with Killer Croc and Mr. Freeze. Got a nice picture of the Joker on the back there. Over here you got a picture of Joker, you got a description that's also available, and there's Mr. Freeze and Killer Croc. And then there's a really nice picture of a close-up of the Titan Joker on the other side. So yeah, so very nice. So, this figure is pretty cool. I was expecting him to come out in November. November or maybe late October. That's what I had heard, and that's what I was expecting. And then one day, my card just got charged, and I didn't know what was going on. I checked, and it was Big Bad Toy Store had it in pretty middle September, so pretty amazing. And they shipped it out. Took about a week to get here, so I got it. So, very surprised to be getting this guy in September, but very happy. So yeah, so this is obviously, this is the Joker. He drinks or injects himself with the Titan serum and becomes this hulking monster. It's the Hulk version of Joker. So very nice. As you can see, there is, as far as detail, this is where this guy just absolutely succeeds. As you can see here, you've got all the ripped skin with his muscles, and you've got bones coming out and like blisters and everything. Really gross, but that just makes it really cool. I love the spine here. Really just an interesting spine, and it looks real. I mean, the blood, it's not supposed to look fake. It does look pretty real, which is really interesting. It's gross, but it's cool. And then you've got the bones sticking out of the elbows here, very nice. And yeah, really cool. So he does and one thing that I really like that I have not heard anybody talk about, and that I did not notice it for a long time, but right here, this piece of ripped skin is in the shape of a heart right over his heart, so I thought that was hilarious. I didn't notice that until I actually drew this guy. I drew a picture of him, and when I was drawing it, I was like, when I was drawing the heart, I was like, oh, this is in the shape of a heart. So yeah, so I don't know if that's really obvious, and I just didn't catch it for a while, but that's pretty interesting. You can see some of his ribs sticking out. Overall, it's a really nice representation of him from the game. The only thing is, on the game, his head wasn't down so much. It was more of like his head was above, the back muscle. So yeah, that's the only kind of thing. This is a cool look. It's just not 100% game accurate, but still really nice. You can see he does still have some of his clothes. They are shredded, but they are on his arm, which is neat. I like that. He does have his pants on, and they're ripped at the bottom, which is kind of cool. And because this guy's so big, let me just pause it so I can go down and get. So here you go. Now you can see his pants and his hands better. So very cool. You can see there are some spikes of these some bones sticking out of his knee. These are really sharp. Yeah, this is definitely not a kid's toy. A lot of the bones are sharp, so obviously don't get this for your kids, but you're probably not going to anyway. I'm sure they'll just love the way it looks. But anyway, you do have a lot of ripped skin over here. Really cool. And I do like how, they have, on some of them, they have some blood dripping, which is kind of neat. And that's what's also nice, too. Any, mispaints or anything, it doesn't matter, because it all looks good. The ripped skin right here looks really weird, but pretty cool. It looks awesome. I do like that. Very nice. And then, of course, you do have all the green veins just throughout his body, even on his legs. You go up, you can see all the green veins on him. So that's really cool. So overall, this guy is just a Titan. Really, really neat. So as far as articulation, he has some great articulation. I really liked Killer Croc's articulation, and he has the exact same lack of jaw, though, obviously. So he's got a ball-jointed head, so he can look side to side, as well as go down pretty far. Not really up, though, but he can look straight at you, of course. Ball hinge shoulders, bicep swivel, hinge elbows, swivel wrist, swivel waist, ball-jointed thighs, hinge knees, and that's it. Overall, really good. He stands perfectly. That's another thing that I was worried about, because he is quite big. I thought that maybe he'd be very top-heavy, which he is. He's extremely top-heavy, but for some reason, it's not affecting him standing at all. I mean, there's not a lot of poses that he doesn't stand for, or haha. But yeah, so that's pretty interesting. I really do like that. That's not a factor at all. On your shelf or something, if you have him, of course you're gonna put him in the back because he's huge. The spine does stick out quite far, so it does kind of hit the wall, and then he's kind of standing in front of the wall a little bit more than your other figures. That's the only thing. Of course, that's completely fine though. I'm just trying to let you know, if you're gonna display this guy on a shelf, he will be sticking up a little bit. You've got some big, huge bones in the back here just exposed, as well as, of course, all the other rib skin and everything. And you can see the green veins a lot better too. As far as his hands are super cool. They're designed, and they're huge. They're about as big as his body, you know. They're massive hands. Do like the blood at the end when then his sharp nails come out. Really like it. You can get this guy in some creepy cool poses. Really loving the hands. They are actually very cool. The thigh joints, they're not loose just because he's so heavy. They are a bit I mean, they can stand fine, but when you're moving them around, they might get a little loose because he's so heavy. But that's totally expected. If you're gonna make a figure this size, that's definitely gonna happen. So overall, it's really cool. On his skin, they do have like some dirty marks. Like he's had a rough time in Arkham. So yeah, so that's cool. Love the face. I think that the face sculpt is super cool. Really looks menacing and creepy, and the green mohawk looks awesome with some black highlights, and then there's this kind of like a glowing green eyes look awesome. I love the huge smile. The face sculpt is awesome. I really love it. Size comparison is something that I was really looking forward to, that I really wanted to know before I bought this figure. So here is the Titan Joker next to Killer Croc. If I'm not mistaken, Killer Croc is the biggest Arkham figure, at least it was the biggest Arkham figure that was ever out. And as you can see, Joker just towers over him, and he's a huge figure himself too, so that's just awesome. Really love the size. And is it in size accuracy? Well, just hold on and here he is, and he can hold your Batman figure. Really impressive. I really love it. Of course, he can't stand up on his own when he's holding Batman, and he can't support his arm too well when he's holding a whole nother figure. But just as you can see, he holds him, and he really holds him well. And there is that you can easily find the picture on YouTube with him holding Batman. So this is in very nice scale. I think that it's almost perfect. Maybe Joker needs to be a tiny bit bigger, but not much at all. And he just really holds him really awesome. I love this. I think it looks so cool. So yeah. So overall, this Titan Joker is awesome, really fantastic, really amazing looking. I highly recommend this guy. This is going to be your jewel in your Arkham collection. People's eye, they're just going to go straight towards this guy on your shelf because he's so unique and so huge. So I highly recommend him. As far as price-wise, he's not too bad. He's about 3 times more expensive than your average Batman figure, but you're getting 3 times the amount of plastic and detail. So I think that it's totally fine, the price. He's about $60 with $10 shipping, so I paid $70 for him on Big Bad Toy Store. So you probably can find him a little bit cheaper, maybe $65 if you do some hunting. So overall, I think that that's a pretty good price for this guy. Just really incredible, just your crown jewel in your collection. He looks fantastic and just awesome. I love it. I'm so glad I got it. So highly recommend that you get this figure. You will not be disappointed, and it's pretty close, if not perfectly in scale with the other figures, which is just incredible. So there you go. So that's my review of the Batman Deluxe Titan Joker. Thanks for watching.